Wizard's Forge is a science fantasy set on a lost space colony, descendants of maroon space travelers. But it focuses on a young woman named Victoria, who's a historian of her ancestors' early history on the planet. But that doesn't last long because she's kidnapped by pirates and sold into sexual slavery by chapter 2. So, and then she's introduced to a completely different society of people who they haven't forgotten their world's origins, but they've transformed their world's origins as an earth-based group of people into a religion that believes that human beings on the planet were born from a particular species of tree that has some interesting properties, and a god, the mating of this species of tree and a god named Elisendar, which is actually the acronym of the registry number of the spacecraft that brought them to the planet. So they've basically transformed their origin story into a mythology involving a deity and an on-world origin for the human species. So she meets all these people that have this weird religion, and she is immediately taken into the home of this tyrant who tries to completely make her into his creature, for lack of a better word. She escapes from that situation. She ends up in the home of his enemies who he's at war with, and she becomes a warrior fighting on their side in this war, and begins to pursue revenge against him, her tormentor, as the book goes forward. It's called A Wizard's Forge because as she progresses, she eventually is given a sort of elixir by the indigenous species on the planet, which are 18-foot tall insects, and they infect her with a neurological parasite called the Wyrn, which is the source of the series title, called the Wyrn Saga. And the Wyrn convey telekinetic abilities to people who are infected with them if they don't kill those people. So by the end of the novel, she has become a wizard. It's called A Wizard's Forge because it's set up in the I use the forging process as a structure of the novel. So the first part is called Ore, the second part is called Smelt, and the third part is called Forge, and the last part is called Temper. And that follows her process from going from this scholar to a sex slave to a warrior to a wizard. So 4 different periods in her life. And it's her origin story. So there's a sequel called A Wizard's Sacrifice, and a third book in the works called A Wizard's Legacy. So
when is the second book out now?
No, the second book is in process. So it's probably will come out next year.
Okay. All right. Now, it's a big book. It is big. What is your word count on that?
It's 120 words.
120,000?
120,000, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that big.
Okay. Maybe it's the camera. I looked at that and I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's really not that thick. So it's 120,000 words. So maybe.
Okay, yeah. No, that's a solid epic fantasy. You must watch a lot of science fiction.
I do.
Which ones?
I watch, right now, we're really into The Expanse.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So, and we watch Game of Thrones, and I loved Battlestar Galactica. Even have a little.
I need to.
Asylum.
It keeps coming up, and I haven't seen it yet. I really need.
You haven't seen the Battlestar Galactica?
I have not seen Battlestar Galactica. I know my nerd card just got revoked.
Oh my gosh! I think you can skip the 1980 version. So, although it's worth it just to see where there's a few episodes in the 2000 version that harken back to the original series, it's kind of fun to see those, what they
I
did.
will start at the beginning. I start at the beginning. That's what I do.
Starting with the 2000 version is starting at the beginning because it's a reboot. It's not a sequel.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, okay.
It's a complete reboot, and it's like the original series is cheesy to the ninth degree. Although
it's all right. Yeah, nothing.
Yeah,
beats
well,
Babylon
it was
5.
1970s, early 80s. So
Yeah.
I had a huge crush on Dirk Benedict, who played Starbuck in the original series. He was like, a huge junior high school crush on him, which tells you how old I am.
All right.
yeah, well, I named my cats after the cast, so of the original series.
And but the 2000 reboot is, I think it personally, I think it's the best television series ever made, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But so those are probably like the top ones. I'm also a Doctor Who watcher and the usual things. I have lots of toys here. Here's a little Dalek. Yeah, my Lego tortoise is currently broken. I have to
Oh, that is sick. My kids make Dalek Legos. They don't make the ones out of the they don't make the TARDIS yet, which they're probably gonna. Yeah, why haven't they? I don't know why.
Yeah, I have the kit. So, which again, it's like between the child and the cats, it's more or less destroyed. Oh, you will probably really enjoy the Weeping Angel.
So one of the stories that I wrote, or that I was reading for story time today, and I cannot remember who it was. So yeah, give me a shout out here if it was you and you're watching this and go, hey, that's me. It's the story is an urban fantasy paranormal where he's being chased by angelic statues. And I'm just like, and I'm trying, I don't do
read this before.
I don't do a pre-read. And I'm really trying to maintain my stuff and keep it together. And I'm just reading it. But inside I'm going, oh my God, he's a Whovian. It was bad. And I kept it together for the reading. I'm very proud of that. But yeah, and it was interesting because it was unique enough that it was not the same thing. But there was just a little thing here and there where I'm going, stone angels are chasing him. It was really, really interesting.